Yes, you beautiful souls, we're still live right here and we are globe-trotting to Canada this morning, and it's the second largest country in the world, and we're connecting with our travel expert and Canadian expat Andrea de Villiers about some of the biggest attractions in this beautiful country. Andrea, how are you doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
I'm excited. This is a bucket list country I haven't been to, so I'm so keen to find out so much more about it. But let's chat about you. I mean, you're originally from Canada, but now living in South Africa, and yesterday was Canada Day, right? So how did you spend it? How were you celebrating?
Well, I don't usually celebrate Canada Day in South Africa, but how I would celebrate it is I actually go camping every year for my mom's birthday, which is today. Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh, happy birthday, Mom!
Yeah. Give a little shout out to her. But we always go camping with my family, and we set up the campsite with Canadian flags and kind of just get that feel for Canada Day. But other festivities that happens in Canada, in the cities and small towns, are like pancake breakfasts and with maple syrup and concerts or festivities during the day, and then fireworks in the evening.
You got to be careful because you already mentioned two of my favorite things. You got camping and you got pancakes and maple syrup. Come on, I'm really trying to find tickets here. But firstly, for those wishing to obviously go to Canada during this pandemic, however, what should they do and what should they know before they go?
So as of July 5th, they are actually opening up the borders a little bit more if you're fully vaccinated.
Awesome. Okay.
So I know South Africa is not quite there yet, but if you do have one of the 5 government-approved vaccines, which you can find on the Canadian travel website, then you can bypass the 3-day hotel quarantine and then also bypass the COVID test done 8 days after you arrive. But you still need to get a COVID test before you fly, and you still have to get one on arrival, but then you can go to your place of quarantine or your home or hotel and just wait for those results there instead of in a government hotel.
All right, well, that doesn't sound too complicated. That actually sounds a little bit easier than I thought. So what is the current situation when it comes to COVID-19 at the moment in Canada?
There are about just around 4,000 new cases per 100,000 people. There are about 65.89% vaccinated for their first dose and 19.30% for their second dose of fully vaccinated.
All right, well, it's sounding like it's a little bit green on the other side there. Now, let's talk about some of the good stuff. Toronto, Canada, which is one of the most populated cities in Canada. What's the culture and the vibe like there? And what are some of the locals about? Like, what can you expect when you go there?
Toronto's quite a trendy city. So you can explore markets like the St. Lawrence Market, Kensington Market, which is actually just a large street that has a lot of shops and souvenir type things. And then if you're into Instagram and you want a nice photo, you should go to Graffiti Alley, which is showcasing all of their graffiti art in this alley, which is quite nice. And the locals, they're quite friendly. But Canadians are known to be friendly, so Toronto's no different.
I can't argue with that. I've got some family actually that are staying in Canada, and they came back nicer people even. Can you believe that? So they got an upgrade when they went there, so I definitely agree with you. Now, for someone that's maybe not as culturally orientated, but still loves visual and spectacular beauty, I've heard of the Niagara Falls, right? Now, this is a series of exceptionally, incredibly beautiful waterfalls, but I've never been there. Can you talk to me about it? Hype us up for when we do ever get the chance to go and visit.
Yeah, you do have to go to Niagara Falls if you're in the Ontario area. It has a Canadian side and an American side of the falls, which are very beautiful. You can do a boat ride if you want to get close up to the falls and feel the mist, but you can get very beautiful and amazing views just from the lookout points up top, but you can't miss it.
Cannot miss it indeed. Now, there's so many activities to do in Canada. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into all of that, so stay with us because we've got more travel talk coming up.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. We're still live right here and talking about all things Canada this morning and getting to know this beautiful country. And there's so much learned and so much to still talk about. And our Canadian expat, Andrea de Villiers, is joining us to tell us more. All right, so let's talk about those that are definitely going to do this and want to make a plan. If we are a budget traveler, what is available for an option for us? And what sort of activities can we do?
So budget travelers can still go to Canada. There's lots of local B&Bs that they can stay at, and also hostels that are available. And because it's such a nature and outdoor place, you can go for hikes. Those are always free. You can pay a small park fee and go into the national parks, which there's about 40 some different national parks throughout Canada that can't be missed.
Now, I tried my best to not ask this question, but being a nature boy at heart, I can't resist. I gotta ask you, let's talk about the nature once again, please, because the beautiful snowy mountains are something that I think any kid in South Africa has never even experienced, maybe just dreamed of. But what are some of the best natural scenery options when it comes to Canada?
Let's see. There's quite a few. I'll start with some of the main provinces, like Alberta. You have Jasper National Park, Lake Louise, which has the famous Instagram lake, Lake Moraine. You have Banff National Park, Drumheller Badlands, and you can go to the museum and learn about the history of the dinosaurs that were once there. Waterton Lakes. If you hop over to British Columbia, you've got Vancouver Stanley Park and the Capilano Suspension Bridge. Vancouver Island is just a magical place with all these small towns. You have Whistler for skiing. You have Kelowna as one of the major wine regions in Canada, and the second being in Ontario. And you have Yoho National Park that has Emerald Lake, that is the most beautiful lake you'll ever see. You also have Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls, and Thousand Island National Park. Going to Quebec, you have Jespini National Park, Mont Tremblant National Park, the St. Lawrence River, which Quebec is right on the river. And they have multiple trails around Newfoundland. And if you're hiking the coast, you'll probably see an iceberg, which is something to see. Like, that's just a few.
Just a few. I mean, I don't know where to begin. I think I definitely raised my attention when you said the waterfall capital of the world. I mean, what else do you need? You're mentioning all these activities, and I also want to talk about the people, because there's such an international flair when it comes to Canada. But one of the beautiful cities I've heard about, named Quebec, is particularly strong in its French culture, and it's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. What is this place like?
Yeah, so there's Quebec, which is the province, and then there's Quebec City, which is their main city there. And it's very full of rich history, cobble streets, and European architecture. When you go, you have to visit the Old Town and Chateau Frontenac. It's very beautiful. Also, another thing you have to try while you're in Canada is our famous Canadian dish called Poutine. It's fries topped with gravy and cheese. It's not healthy, but it's delicious.
Poutine, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you add maple syrup to that? Because why is this maple syrup thing such a big deal? What does it mean to Canadians? Like, it's like your thing. It's like the sweet nectar you provided to the world. Tell me about maple syrup. What's the deal?
Well, maple syrup comes from Canada and comes out of these large maple trees that they stick a spout in, and maple syrup drips out of there. So it's very Canadian, and I don't think you'd put it on poutine, but you would put it on pancakes and everything else. You can get maple syrup cookies and candies and everything.
Look, Andrew, I'm going to put you on the spot now, because I'm hooked. I'm ready to come through as soon as I can. I'm going to make a plan. And it seems like the biggest problem is, if you enjoy doing all of these activities, you're going to need a lot of time in your hands to visit Canada. A good couple months, maybe, if we're lucky. But let me put you on the spot and have some fun here. I'm going to test out if you are really, truly a Canadian. Are you authentic? Can you give us a line and teach me a line or two from your national anthem?
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love And all our sons command.
I absolutely love it. Andrew, you've been a breath of fresh Canadian air and everything else that we need when it comes to curing that travel bug, of course. And I just want to say thank you for sharing some of the magic of your beautiful country too.
It's only a pleasure. I'm glad I can share my experience and hopefully get some travelers over there.
Yeah, I think Mzansi is definitely going to add this to the bucket list. And it sounds like a truly breathtaking and awe-inspiring adventure, which awaits all those keen to travel to Canada. So thanks again, Andrea, for connecting with us. And Mzansi, what are you up to? Go get those flights booked.